All right, cool. We are live. I think
Awesome.
let's wait for a few people to join in and I will explore this beautiful world. Guessing you built
Awesome.
this?
Awesome. Andy Ritchie did.
Okay, cool.
So
That's pretty
he,
awesome.
yeah, he's the guy kind of that started the whole Boop Goop thing, and then this is his social hub. We ran a little like treasure hunt and everything about probably a month. I don't even know. Time is weird. About a month ago or so at this point, and I started making the changes to the social hub where I added the trees and some of the mushrooms and everything, and kind of started invading with the fungi. It was a whole like week long event. So now you'll see kind of both of our um, influences in here, but most of the almost everything that is you see in here is his build,
Cool. Yeah, I
especially
mean,
the parkour that people are gonna do today.
the trees and the fungi really do add a nice touch. I really like this voxel wood sign. This is dope. I love it.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? That's I
Yeah.
think that's one of the Pranksky boxes. One of the drops from one of those. It was
Oh,
super
really?
awesome. Yeah, I think
Cool.
I'm not sure who made that actually from the team. I feel bad that I don't know now. But yeah, that's someone from the Sandbox team made that for Pranksky and they put that
Awesome.
out there.
Yeah. So, what is the boop goop? If you don't mind
So yeah,
elaborating.
it's a question that Andy gets a lot. It's Boop Coop. It came from a meme, believe it or not. We were
Okay.
watching Andy stream, and there was this video that he played where it was someone that was reacting. It was someone that was reacting to something. They were calling the police on something, and they said something along the lines of "My heart is going boop goop" instead of doop goop, and we all started dying on the stream. So it just
Uh,
stuck. We all just started saying boop boop all the time, and it just became kind of the name of pretty much everything.
I mean, yeah,
So
it's a fun word. Sure.
yeah, it's fun to say. It rolls off the tongue a little bit, but
For those of you that just joined, hello, hello, GM and GM wherever you are. Even if it's good
yes,
evening, it's still GM in our world. So thank you for joining in. And today we are with the legendary Tuschay. He's an awesome sandbox builder. I think you made the first ever FPS shooter inside the sandbox, if I'm not wrong, which is awesome. Which is awesome. So, would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
yeah, sure. I think a few people have seen me probably in Sandbox stuff. My name is Tuschay. I I run the fungi family and pretty much everything that's fungi related in the sandbox. I'm part of the Game Makers Fund and an ambassador for the sandbox. And yeah, I've been pretty much enamored with the world of the sandbox since probably early February or so now. So it's not even been a year and it's changed everything for me. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's my short bio.
yeah. I mean, if you're in the NFT world and you invest in the right projects, your life changes very fast. So
Yeah.
congrats on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
So
pretty amazing.
what made you fall in love with the sandbox? Why sandbox specifically out of all the metaverses?
For me, it's the game making aspect of it. So I did dabble in like all the other metaverses, with those being Decentraland, CryptoBox, Somnium Space, and all that stuff. Before I kind of settled that Sandbox was the one that it just it outpaces all the other ones for me. The way that you can make games, I mean, really bring together like a whole IP really,
Yeah,
and make it an experience that can be repeatable for people, something that they can earn money with. I mean, it made so much sense to me, and at the time, I thought it was something that would only go. It was only going to get bigger from there. I'm
yeah,
fascinated with the movie Ready Player One, and I think that ecosystem and that whole space is happening right before our eyes right now, and
mm,
it's in places like this that it's happening. I think.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So did you? Oh no, I just fell off the map. Oh man. did you? Did you have any past experiences as a voxel builder, or this is your first
No,
time getting in?
yeah, first time really doing any voxel work. I'm a graphic designer, so I did 15 years of graphic design before this year, and I'm an illustrator as well. So that's pretty much my experience with like art and that kind of medium. Voxels to me and all that were pretty foreign. I have friends that work with it, so I know how it works. I know the programs that are involved, but I never actually dabbled with it myself. So it wasn't until really Vox Edit that I got started with voxel work and stuff. Um, Game making as well. Like I think this is probably the most I've ever done in terms of game making. I played around with a few different game makers in the past, but they weren't nearly as robust as this. So this was really all just a giant learning experience for me. And yeah, it's been really amazing. But I think that's what happens when you kind of just dive head in. You know, they say if you become obsessed with something, you just won't stop. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened to me. I thought that was a myth until this year, honestly.
Yeah. So, like, is it difficult to learn how to build inside the sandbox? Is there like a learning curve to it, or were you just a natural at it and you caught on to it quickly?
I wouldn't say I was a natural at all. I think the community definitely helps in learning that. So the first thing that I did with the sandbox was I started looking for tutorials, and that's how I found Andy Ritchie and his stream. And really just asking questions, not being afraid to ask the questions and playing with the tool at the same time. You know, I think asking specific questions related to your problems will help you really just rocket forward. And you can't be afraid to really reach out for help like that because this is such a new space, new environment. So I don't think it's difficult. I think you need to be patient with yourself and set a goal. Say, you know, I want to
Mhm.
build today a quest that just, you know, take something to somewhere and receive that. And then as you go day in day, you just start learning things that you can implement and then start daisy chaining things together. And then you have game. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's time consuming though. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that you have to be patient with.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I feel like being a talented sandbox builder is starting to become very financially rewarding. So I'm sure it's worth your time.
It's not yeah, it's not even for that I think that people should learn it. I think it's just going to be the way forward. You know, if you're going to want to bring a brand into the metaverse, like right now we're sought after because we're unique, right? There's not many of us that can build, and you know, you'd be surprised the amount of and the people that are reaching out to us, and just we don't have the time to do anything about it. Like we're only a handful of people. So I think the value to it right now is really trying to bring the community in and having them learn, because there is jobs for everyone in this space right now. I mean, if you learn the software that's right in front of us and that's growing every day, like you have a chance of being on the cutting edge of the software if you learn everything there is to know about Game Maker, and then every time there's an update, you just keep learning those updates, you're basically the cutting edge. And right now, people need builders like that are willing to learn and spend the time and everything. So yeah, I think it's profitable, but right now isn't even the big picture. I think building those experiences, putting them on those lands, and then seeing what happens there is going to be a game changer for I mean, the entire industry. I think the gaming industry is not going to be the same, and it's already changing. You know, I find it fascinating. Honestly, I've been a gamer my entire life, and this is the first time I've actually been like, okay, this is something that people need to be paying attention to. You know, before it was just literally fun games, but now it's not.
Yeah, I feel you. I've been posting about the sandbox on my Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, just like because I honestly think being a part of the sandbox can be life changing. So yeah, I'm with you on that one
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I know you have a new project coming up called the Fun Guy Family. So
yeah.
you want to talk a little bit more about that? Like, what is it?
Yes. Yeah, so it's already launched actually. It launched last month, 2 months ago now, end of October. Everything's kind of crunching together these days. But yeah, it's the Fungi Family. It just started. It's just launched a few months ago, and we're just kind of getting everything together. But it's a collection of 2,500 fungi. They're these little mushroom guys. Actually, if we walk in here, you can actually show people. They're
I'll
right
see
here
it.
on the wall.
Oh
And
shit! Nice.
yeah, they are. They're 2,500 randomly generated fungi that I drew all the parts for and everything, and created a program that kind of meshed them all together. And they live on the Polygon blockchain, so no gas fees and all that stuff. But they, you know, it's my IP that I brought into the sandbox with the first game that I'm bringing from the Game Makers Fund, and from that ecosystem, I kind of spawned the fungi family, and then all the other games that I have coming out as well. But the fungi have been around for a long time for me. I've been working on comic books and pitches to like Adult Swim and stuff like that with these characters for a very long time, like 5 or 6 years now. I've been working on stories with them, and I have a friend. When I used to live in Florida, I moved over to Washington earlier this year, and in Florida, I was putting together a group basically that was putting together stories and comics and stuff like that. And the Fun Guys was like this idea that I couldn't get out of my head, and I just needed to bring them out there. And when our pitch kind of failed and everything, I was like, I'm benchmarking these characters for something else. And I kept drawing them. I kept drawing mushroom characters for like the last 6 years, and mushroom houses and all that stuff. And so when the NFT space came up, my friend reached out to me last November. Actually, it's been about a year now since I learned about NFTs, and they were like, "You need to like be in there." And I was like, "I'll look into it." I've been involved with crypto before, but I didn't understand the concept at first, to be honest. Like NFTs, art, and blockchain, it just didn't make sense to me. But it probably took a week, and I put out my first collection of these fungi trading cards that were the original 7 fungi that I had drawn. And from there, I kind of started going deep into the NFT world, and then the 10K project started coming up. And as soon as I saw that the Bored Apes and all that stuff were a thing, I was like, oh, this is going to be massive. So I kept picturing how I would make the fungi, how I would make hand draw 2,500 fungi. And I'm not really a programmer or anything like that, so I didn't have the idea of how to generate them. So I got together with a childhood friend of mine from New York. We've known each other since I was like 6 years old, and he's an app developer. And I asked him like, how can I do this, man? And we just started working on a program that kind of put them all together. And once I got ready to kind of launch them and everything, I drew everything. And yeah, I'm in love with them though. I think they're the funniest little things. And yeah, from there I just kept going. So I never really thought that getting to pay your bills with art is kind of a ridiculous concept when I was growing up. So now that it's actually happening for a lot of creators, I'm just completely excited to be able to produce more and stuff like this. So that's why I'm launching the other NFT collections. Those are all going to be hand drawn collections, but that all kind of spawned from the fungi family. So, but yeah, that's kind of why I brought them all into the space and everything.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the art now, and it looks amazing. Like they
Thanks,
look
man.
funny. They look dirt. Some of them look derpy. Like I love it. I love it. It's just a fun piece of art to look at for sure. But I
And
wanted to
these
ask.
guys right here are the actual fungi from the game that I'm launching. So the original 7 fungi are going to be in the first game that I launch, and these are kind of this guy right here, and these guys that are walking around are the original 7. There's going to be 7 of the original ones, and this is kind of like their family tree, really. That's how I look at it. So yeah, there's voxel versions of these guys and everything. So
Cool. So you said family tree. So there's gonna be fungi breeding.
yeah, that's coming January 1st. So with the fungi breeding, basically, if two people want to merge 2 fungi together, well, not merge, but breed 2 fungi together and create an offspring, I'm going to basically grab those 2 fungi and actually hand draw each breed.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, they're going to be. It's not going to be an NFT collection where it's just randomly generated. I'm going to like look at the 2 and kind of create my own thing. I will be rolling RNGs in the background for their passive and recessive traits and all that. So I'll basically It's going to be a whole table. There's a white paper coming out next month where it shows if you have a red cap and a blue cap, which one's more likely to come out, stuff like that. And then once all those results are generated, I'll look at the list and basically hand draw it, and then that gets delivered to the original owner, the one that created the fungi, and that basically creates another basically baby fungi in the baby fungi collection. So it's a separate collection from the fungi family. And then after this, later next year, you can put all those fungi together and kind of create a Twitter banner in another collection that's called the Fungi Family Reunion Collection. So there's 2 more collections coming up after this, and then a third one at the end of next year, which is the mushroom houses that they're all going to live in.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I've never heard of a creator hand drawing the actual babies. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I
Well, I
like
think
that idea.
that's what it's all about for me. I mean, I like I said, I don't think I've ever thought that I would be able to pay bills making art, you know. And
Yeah.
so if I can actually have an a hand in actually making the art, like that's what it's about for me. Like if someone told me even a year ago that someone was going to be paying me to make little fungi babies, even if it was, I'm doing this all in my own token that I created. So it's this whole ecosystem where if you hold a fungi, you get the Tuschay coins, and then you can spend those on making me make more fungi for you. So it's a whole ecosystem that I kind of revolved around the fungi, where it just keeps me drawing, and that's all I want to do anyway.
Okay.
So
That's awesome.
it's like it's selfishly all I want to do all day is make these mushroom characters and everything. Even I love the sandbox. I love building in the sandbox, but it is hard for me to build in the sandbox. Some things, it doesn't come naturally. If I can sit here all day drawing fungi, it's like forget about it. That's the dream right there. So, yeah, it's hand drawing it to me was the way to go for that. Plus, it's personalization. I think it's pretty cool for the people that get to breed them to be like, hey, any way this thing can have can squint or something, or have any sort of traits that they want, and I can actually do that for them. So, you know,
Yeah. It seems like you are very passionate about this project. So congrats. Congrats
thanks,
on
man.
what you've achieved so far, for sure.
Thanks, I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, you mentioned the Tuscan coins. How do you accumulate Tuscan coins? And
So the Touche coins are basically accumulated by a few different ways. We have contests that run and everything, but the primary way is by holding fungi. So every month, you get airdropped a certain amount of fungi, a certain amount of Touche coins, depending
okay,
on how many fungi you have and how long they've been in your wallet. So the calculation is roughly 100 coins per fungi times zero point 0.1 per month that they're in there. So if you have 10 fungi in a wallet, you get, I think it's 1,000 coins. And with 1,000 coins, if you say you held them for 2 months, you get 1,200 because it's a multiplier by zero point 0.2. So, and then you get airdrop those at the end of the month, or you can win contests. We have a lot of contests going on Discord all the time. I hold, writing contests, things like that, and you get paid out in Touche coin if you complete certain tasks. So it's really just about getting involved. I think if you get involved with the fungi family and the Discord and all that stuff, you basically start earning enough Touche coins to really make the breeds if you want to make a fungi baby like there, or really anything you want to do with it. I think you can also exchange it for Matic. So I have a way of people just pulling out the Touche coin. So if they want to like earn with their fungi and then just pull it out, they can do that. Part of the funds from the fungi family go into the Touche coin pool, and that kind of circulates that ecosystem. So if people want to cash out some money, if they need it for anything, they can go ahead and do that, or they can buy Touche coin to make the breeds or anything they want to do like that.
cool. That's awesome. So it sounds like it's going to be a time-weighted scale. The longer you hold it, the more touche coins you accumulate.
Yeah, my whole purpose for this is basically to get me to do this for as long as possible, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I want to be drawing this for a while, and the projects that I have launching with the sandbox start launching next year and go throughout the year. So for me, it's these if you own a fungi, it unlocks one of the estates that I have in the sandbox, and that's
Okay.
called the Fungi Family Fort. And by the time that launches, my hope is that people have fungi babies by then. Everything is in place so that they kind of have a family of their own in the fungi family, and then they can go in and you know we'll do special things like put up family portraits on a wall and stuff like that, so you can go and visit your own fungi family in there and send your friends there and stuff. So yeah, it's about longevity for me. I don't no part of this project did I rush. I didn't want to make like any uncalculated like decisions about what I'm promising to people, what I can achieve with what I promise, and this is all me doing this. So I don't really have any support in terms of managing like anything from this project. So everything that I did, I had to make sure 100% that I was able to do before I said this is what I'm going to do, because otherwise then I'm just trying to putting myself in a hole of trying to figure out how to achieve something, right? So with the breeding, when I decided that I was going to hand draw the breeds, I was like, okay, I'll just make them limited, and there's something that I just hand draw. Maybe I'll do 10 in a week if I can pull that off when everything kind of cools down. But I'll just kind of do that all, you know, as the scope kind of expands. So yeah, it's about a long term project in my opinion.
Cool. That's awesome. So you mentioned the Fungi family fort, and looks like there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be working on. What is the
Yeah,
Fungi kingdom? Like, are you ready to talk about all these different things? Because this looks
yeah,
like
for
there's going
sure.
to be a lot of experiences you're building.
Yeah, so the Fungi Kingdom is the Game Maker Fun game that I'm working on for the Sandbox. So that project has been in development for about 8 months now. No, 6 months now. I don't know. Like I said, time is kind of strange. But so the Fungi Kingdom is a farming simulator game. Kind of, if you played Stardew Valley, you're kind of familiar with the concept that I'm going for, or Harvest Moon, or something like that. So I kind of brought that game into the Sandbox. Had a conversation with Seb about bringing my IP and the Fungi's into that kind of game, and he loved it. So we started developing out that project 6 months ago, and that should be launching. I should be finishing development on that soon, I should say. Um, that will be launching when the Sandbox is ready to launch that, and then from there we kind of have the other games that I'm bringing to the Fungi. So the Fungi Kingdom is going to be the intro to the Fungi's, where they come from, what do they do, kind of give you a feel of the world that I'm going for. And then from there, the Fungi Family 4 is going to have an offshoot game, sequel game that only people from the Fungi family can access. And then the Fungi Universe is another estate that I have that's going to be a space-based Fungi game that's coming out later next year. So there's 3 full games that are launching, and then I have a bunch of little one by ones that I have Fungi related games with. The Walking Dead game that I'm making right now is a Fungi game. I made 2 other games for the game jams that were Fungi games. So Fungi's are really just going to be scattered everywhere around the lands that I have. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going with that.
Cool. That's awesome. So it sounds like there's going to be a story behind the Fungi. It's not just
Yeah,
something random.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Originally, they were like a bit of an adult themed kind of cartoon. I had more like raunchy comedy in there. But Sandbox being the Sandbox, and I feel like the kids audience is going to need a place to really explore these IPs and stuff like that. I've decided to tone it down and basically make the story PG-13. So it's
Okay.
everything that I really wanted to do with them, just kid friendly, And so with that, I kind of do have a storyline that I'm kind of bringing to it, but it's really a developing. I think that they just kind of pop up with stories for me. Like I'll just see something and just go, oh, this is how the Fungi's would do that, and then make a story with that. So overall, though, there's just an overlying theme. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. By the way, if you're watching and you have any questions, do let me know. I'll make sure to ask. Uh, let's see if there's any questions that I've missed out on. Cool. Well, you did mention that you're working on the Walking Dead Fungi project, so let's watch the trailer.
Yeah. So this is a premiere. No one's seen this yet. So yeah, this game is actually special announcement will be that it's going to be available right after the stream to play in the Game Maker Gallery. And I do have a contest going on that I'll talk about right after the video. So yeah, you can go ahead and play it if you'd like.
It's a contest, guys. Be ready. All right, cool. Let's watch the video.
I don't know if they have audio on the video.
Oh, they don't? Oh no. We gotta get
Yeah,
Slater
no
in here.
audio.
All right. Hopefully Slater can figure this out.
Let me let me think here.
Technical difficulties.
Hmm, try. Sorry, I'm like kind of thinking on my feet here.
No worries. Can you? I can.
I'm trying to,
I can screen share. No, that doesn't make sense.
because yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to do the audio. It's the I don't think there's a way to do direct audio. Well, how about this, everyone? Let's post a link to it.
Well, I'll do a little director's commentary trailer then.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I built an FPS game for the Sandbox that is going to be held in 4 different biomes. And what you're seeing in the trailer here is those biomes. I built these skyboxes for the first time. It was a project that I've been trying to work out how to build for a pretty long time. I think if you can change the element of what a 1x1 looks like, you can kind of really get away with a lot of things. So you have a mountain setting, you have a swamp setting, and you have an airport setting, and then the main actual setting for the actual ambience for the sandbox. So there's these huge skyboxes each over each level that were a pain to work out. So it actually is made with NFT frames. So each one of those images that you see there is made by 86 different frames that are puzzle pieces of little NFTs that I put together in the game. So, and it kind of puts together this whole kind of sky frame. So yeah, the task is basically to save the fun guys, deliver the cure, and go through and kind of defeat the walkers and everything. And then if you let the video play at the very end there, I'll announce this little challenge that I have going on. So if you guys can defeat Tuschay the Wizard in the game and 10 people send me a screenshot, I will unlock that character as a playable character that you can play with. So right now you have a crossbow character, and I'll unlock the wizard character if 10 people send me a screenshot that they've killed him.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen someone use a cross. I mean, sandbox is new, but like, I've never seen someone use a crossbow inside the sandbox, which is pretty cool. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but like, this whole experience is looking like a lot of fun. So I cannot wait to try it out once it's out. Looking, is it okay if I link the video on the
Yeah,
chat?
yeah, feel free.
Cool. I noticed it was unlisted, so I was like,
Yeah, no, feel free. I had it unlisted until because I let you guys premiere it, so I didn't want anyone else to see it beforehand.
yeah, that was
there's
an
the
awesome
video link.
trailer.
Thanks, man.
So you're building this entire thing yourself. So you're a one-man team.
Yeah, for the most part, not for the Fungi Kingdom, and a few of the other games that I'm building are now going to be kind of incorporating team. Last month, well, really, at the beginning, it's kind of difficult to say that I was looking for help because I've always tried. I'm trying to do everything myself because it kind of you can work on your own scale and all that stuff. But realistically, things kind of start getting a little out of hand. And last month, I had someone reach out to me, Wayward Escapades. I hope she's okay with me just putting her on blast here. But she reached out. She said she loved my project and she wanted to help out. So I had her start working on some assets, and she absolutely killed it. So right now, all the assets for the game, I'm focusing on game building, and she's making the assets for the game. That so I've been kind of slowly trickling out all the amazing work that she's been putting together. I'm super excited for everyone to see it, but I don't want. Oh, look, she's in the chat. Nice. So I didn't want everyone to kind of see it and kind of spoil what the game's going to look like. But she's been absolutely murdering everything that I've asked her to do. She's been doing amazing. So now it's kind of putting together a team now, and I think I'm really happy about that. I grabbed one of my friends from childhood and I told him, if you learn box edit, man, I have work for you and I need you to kind of help me. So he started kind of working on stuff, and yeah, I think the team is kind of slowly building, and of course, like I'm a big part of Andy Ritchie's community, and Andy Ritchie is a big part of my community. So together, we're literally talking almost, I don't know, I'd say 12 hours a day. We're on Discord calls, and that entire thing is like, the whole community that we've built is just a community of builders that are really kind of passionate about bringing things forward. So whether we don't have a direct hand in each other's games, like I didn't really build anything that you see here,
Okay.
but we do sit on a Discord call all day, and he goes, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I go, "Hey, what do you think about this for our games?" So a lot of the stuff that we're doing, he's a big part of why I was able to get started here, and the community itself is using him and my community as a resource to get more knowledge, and so I think being a part of these places, you kind of just start finding people that have different niches. So whether I'm good at one thing, Andy might be good at another thing, we might have someone else in the community that's good at another thing. It starts forming this big cohesive like knowledge base, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really where the power is in these decentralized platforms, these play to earn systems, because everyone does want everyone to do really well, because then we do better as a group.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it's really been amazing, honestly. You know, working from home is supposed to be like a lonely experience, but honestly, I don't feel like I've had more contact with people than this year, because I'm literally always talking to someone on Discord, whether it's someone from the Fungi family, whether it's Andy, whether it's my best friend from childhood, like sitting on a Discord call with me that I normally don't ever get to talk to him all day, even though we've been friends forever. It's like now we get to talk all day and we get to build these things, and that's just been amazing for me, honestly. But
Yeah, the Sandbox is bringing people closer together.
yeah, it's amazing, honestly. The communities that are being formed are just, it's just people that are happy. You know, it's like there's no reason not to be happy in this space. You know, we're all building and playing video games, and it's like now we're getting paid to do it, and on top of that, we're getting to bring these ideas. More than getting paid, I think creating something and having someone enjoy that experience has been such a rewarding like feeling that once you get that, it's like a drug. Like you need to get that again. Like you want people to enjoy your games, and yeah, the more people that do it, the more they're going to be like addicted to this, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with what you said earlier. Like I work from home every day, and it's just I don't feel lonely at all. I feel like I'm connecting with more and more like-minded people on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I talk to my Twitter friends more than I talk to my real life friends now, and that's insane. Like I love them; they're amazing people. So
yeah,
awesome.
We did just push the Boop Goop Hub to page 1, so people can find it on page 1 now, just to let everyone know in chat if they're still looking for it. I was just catching up with the chat here. I'm sorry, I have 3 different screens here that I'm looking at for things.
3 different screens, dude. I have trouble looking at 2 different screens. I gotta get on your level.
One of them is the drawing tablet, so I can probably just show the chat this. This is basically where I create the fun guys here. So this is my drawing tablet that I have the stream up on right now, but I'm sitting here all day just kind of drawing stuff, and then I'll just move this back out of the way when I'm done with it. But yeah, it's really nice. This is the setup that I have here has been a dream of mine to kind of achieve, and just working here from my house, like literally, I'm in my pajamas right now. I mean, I'll just say it, like it's amazing. you know?
Yeah. You don't have to dress up in suits and shit. I don't know if you're a suit guy, but like I'm not.
I was a suit guy for 9 years. I worked in a big corporate Forbes 500 company for 9 years, and I had to wear a tie to work, and it was absolutely worst thing that's ever happened. So yeah, I wear my pajamas proudly.
Me too. I wear my sweatpants proudly.
Exactly.
So what can people look forward to in your project in the next few months?
Wow, a lot. I think the primary thing that I think people are excited for is the fungi breeding. That's going to go live January 1st. I'll start accepting like applications for the breeds. And then the games, really. I mean, honestly, the most anticipated thing for me is really launching the Fungi Kingdom. When that launches, that's going to be a Sandbox sponsored thing. So they're really pushing for the promos on all that, and they're really, I mean, Sandbox has been absolutely incredible. Their support, Sebastian's support alone, I mean, for a COO to be that involved with the community, it's absolutely incredible. I think that his passion towards the projects or the Sandbox in general is really, you can talk to him, and if you have a one-on-one with him sometime, it's amazing the energy that he kind of puts forward, and you're just like, yeah, this is I got to follow this guy into battle for sure. So I think that's for me the thing I'm most looking forward to is launching the game and getting the game out there for everyone to play, getting feedback on that, and then getting started on the next build. But with that, the fungi breeding, so creating your baby fungi and all that stuff. challenges and stuff that I have coming up. I think that there's a lot going on, and every day that I can, I don't really have to look up to anybody to kind of make sure that I can do something. So really, if I get an idea and I want to do it, I just do it, and then I put it out there, and it's all fungi related now. So everything that I'm working on, it'll have some sort of fungi twist, and then here you go, guys. So I like to keep a lot of projects surprised. I'm a big fan. I'm not a big fan of like everything that Apple does, but one of the most beautiful things that they do is their reveal trailers, and Nintendo does this as well, where they'll be like, "Hey, this is a new thing we have, and it's launching this Friday." And it's just like you don't even have to wait. You're not like, oh, 2 months of anticipation or something like that. So that's kind of how I want to approach a lot of the things that I'm working on. It's like, hey guys, I have a new game and it's available tomorrow. And so it's like people are like, oh snap, like he's constantly doing something in the background, not telling us, and then just shoves it in our face afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I like building and stuff like that.
Yeah. It sounds like you're constantly looking to over deliver.
Honestly, yeah. Like it's the problem with it is that like the ideas just come all the time. I was sitting in the shower the other day when I came up with the ranged attack mechanic, and I was like, I hopped out of the shower and I was like, I'm gonna build an FPS, and it was like I wasn't gonna enter the game jam. I told everyone that I wasn't entering it, and then I was like, I have to make a zombie killing game now. And so yeah, it'll literally happen that I won't be able to ignore it. So
yeah, I mean, these ideas come out of nowhere. You have to execute. I feel like if you don't execute in the moment, sometimes, with me personally, if I wait like a day or two, I'll lose my passion behind the idea, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of lose steam, and keeping that. I think that's the whole stigma. It's like, oh, I need to be motivated in order to kind of do things, but the truth is really if you do something and you start building momentum behind it, that's what kind of breeds the motivation to continue doing that thing. So when you have an idea and it even forces you a tiny bit to get onto the computer or to put out the piece of paper or whatever it is that your project is, I think it's that's your only task, is to actually get that piece of paper, get that project out, open the software and do the thing. But once you start, it's a snowball. It'll just you'll continue doing that project or that thing, whatever it is, if you find the energy. You put the energy into it and it just cycles back into you, and then you can just keep putting it in there. I found that that's really the way that motivation works, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I think that we're probably in a different instance than everyone else, because I don't see anybody else running around, and I'm 100% sure that there's at least 2 people in here. So, yeah, it's just us 2. If you want to reload the experience, I'm sure we'll pop in and see if people are ready for some parkour challenges. I'm just going to exit to the main and see if I can pop back into the social hub. I think it's right there on page 1 now.
I'm probably doing the same thing.
Let me catch up with the chat here, see what's going on. Oh, Mr. Winning, what's going on? Thank you guys. Oh, you're all so nice. The wizard, yeah. Yeah, so if you guys saw the wizard at the end, if you guys can kill the wizard 10 times, so 10 different people sends me a DM or post a picture of the wizard dead, I will release it as a playable character, so you guys can play as the wizard instead of just having him killed. I decided that was the best way to do this. I think. Oh, look, everyone's here. What's going on, guys? So yeah, I decided that I didn't want to release the wizard at first because it's kind of easy mode. Honestly, I think if you can beat the game with the crossbow guy, you're probably fine with the wizard. The wizard's just more fun to play with. So I just decided to do it like a little bonus level.
So fun to run around in Sandbox.
If you wanna, I'll take you on a little tour. These are the Gen Zs. I love that project. Alex Solis is one of like my favorite artists of all time. Big inspiration to the Fun Guys, actually. This is the Boop Boop Hub. I'm gonna fall all the way down.
Oh.
But we put all the vines everywhere for the challenges last month, and I think that they're some of my favorite way to get around. So you can actually like jump to every level with the vines and everything. But if you go all the way to the top floor, there's an NFT museum. You can go into the cafe over here, which is all of Truly Faye's work. She's an interior designer in the Sandbox, and her collection is going to be pretty awesome. Really excited to put this stuff on my lands. And then the little gallery in here also shows you a bunch of her work and Andy's work as well, as the coveted Nina. Andy, I don't know if you're watching the chat, but if you want me to show that one thing, let me know.
Are you upstairs again?
Yeah, I just went up to the second floor. But yeah, and then the torturous but entertaining and ever loving parkour challenges outside that everyone can compete on today. And we're going to be giving away a fungi statue, the Worry fungi carving that's on the bottom floor. We're going to be giving one of those away to whoever wins first.
So I'm gonna make this a little easier because I think everyone's having some difficulty. Let's say I want everyone to start at the same point, but I want to say let's just everyone get to the glass box with the trees in it.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
So,
okay.
So hold on. So you want to do it so that the first person that gets into the glass box with the tree, or you want everyone to start there?
No, yeah, the first person to get to the glass box with trees, but I definitely want everyone to start at the beginning platform at the same time.
So there's actually an ending. There's actually a finish line right here.
Is there? Where?
Yeah. So if you go to the opposite end of the social hub, there's a finish line that basically the actual parkour goes all the way around the S, the giant the map. So if I stand right here and we make sure that everyone starts at the beginning, I'll just stand here and whoever crosses it first will get the prize.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna join in just for fun.
Have fun, because it is a challenge.
Yeah, I actually haven't. So I know for a fact that Andy updated the parkour challenge. So everyone that's been watching and practicing, I'm sorry. Andy updated it, and it is a little different now. So I haven't tried it. Good luck, guys. But yeah, if you want to call it off, feel free to start the parkour challenge, whatever you guys want. I'm excited to see this. But I'm going to be watching. So anybody that crosses that door right now and then finishes through here has a chance of winning. So if you're starting, go to the opposite end of where I'm at, where I'm facing. This is going to be fun. I love doing these. People get so hyped into them.
A lot of people here, so.
All right, so everyone's starting back where you're at in the beginning?
Yeah, I think so. You can also just start at the beginning of the parkour challenge, but if you start at the beginning there, I can see who runs into the parkour and kind of keep track of everybody. So
cool. I died. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Whenever you want to say go.
All right, go. I've got it. Let's see what happens here.
Are they just following me? No. So is there a project that inspires you the most? Like another NFT project, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Maybe I can incorporate this into my project in my own way.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Gen Zs are that for me. There's a few projects, honestly. I think what's most inspiring to me are the artists that I grew up trying to learn from. You know, the illustrations that I do are inspired by different artists kind of meshed together. So Alex Pardee, Alex Solis, Jason Seiler, a bunch of these artists that I've really admired all this time have just started getting into the NFT space, and their artwork has always been incredible to me. But the amazing thing is the ecosystems that they're building. So Alex Solis has his own game coming out, and hopefully, I'm not going to say anything about the Sandbox stuff, but he has his own game coming out on his own platform and everything, and the artwork for that is incredible. Alex Pardee has his own line of these creepy nightmare-looking NFTs that come out. But honestly, the projects that revolve around those artists and the things that really got me into this space are the ones that I just love watching, really. I think that more than anything, watching everybody. It's so funny just to see. I'm watching it on the stream here, and it's just the same.
So
It's really
difficult.
difficult. This I know. It's the hardest part really is getting the rhythm. Once you get it once, I think that you can get the hop down to
Yeah,
get all the way up there.
but hey, it's a good prize. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Man, I can't even get past the second one. Yeah. Right. All right. I'm getting too distracted over here.
No worries. That's happens. I'm just watching the tube, see if anyone comes down it. But I think that's really the kind of inspiration that really drives me to kind of continue creating and why it's about drawing, hand drawing for me. Some of the work that Alex Pardee puts out is also hand drawn one-on-one NFTs and stuff like that. So I think that is really unique. I think the whole aspect of owning one of one piece of artwork from one of your favorite artists is like holy moly, like that's something that you would have never been able to do in the past. So but yeah, that's kind of where I'm drawing my energy from.
Cool.
And then honestly, everything that the Sandbox puts out, I mean, anything that has to do with metaverses is to me very exciting for the future,
Yeah. Also, I'm wondering, like, how did you even come up with the idea of the fun guys?
Oh
Like the
man.
art itself.
So the answer to that is the reason that I'm donating to the psychedelic research funds with the money that I'm working on with the fun guys. I think psychedelic therapy is something that is really undervalued and overshadowed by a lot of the stigmas that surrounds it. And for me, it really cured me of a lot of anxiety issues that I had. And yeah, I think since that day, I really drawing mushrooms and drawing little mushroom related artwork has been really kind of the forefront of everything that I do with illustration. I heard once that if you want to become good at drawing, you kind of have to draw the same thing over and over until you can master that one thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean draw the same circle over and over, but it means set a theme for yourself. So if you wanted to draw, pumpkins, just draw a pumpkin every day of the year, and see where your pumpkin from day 1 to day 2 to day 365 looks like, and that's what I did with the mushrooms. So I was originally drawing something related to a mushroom every day. And I just set a theme for mushrooms. And so mushroom houses came out of that. The fungi came out of that, and all these different mushroom art. And really now anything that I draw has this like weird curvature shape to it because of the mushrooms. And so it kind of develops your style, I think, a little bit. And so yeah, that's kind of where they came from though.
Yeah. So you pretty much got your own unique style just by drawing one thing over and over again.
Yeah, I think that, and also looking at some of the artists that I've mentioned, I looked at all their line work, and to me, art is really about two things. It's about trying to make sure the silhouette of what you want to portray is unique, and then making sure that the colors that you're putting in there aren't clashing with each other. So if you can achieve both of those things, I think you've created an appealing piece for someone's eyes. So it's all about, for me, the two rules in my style. I don't even really know if I would call it that, but the two rules that I kind of go with are continuous uninterrupted lines. So not really sketchy lines, but just flowy lines, things that kind of morph into each other. And then making sure that the colors palette that I use are all kind of related to these childish cartoons that I used to watch. So I use a lot of Hanna-Barbera color palettes, a lot of Cartoon Network color palettes, Disney color palettes and stuff like that to kind of give the viewer a visual reference of something that they've already seen in the past. And yeah, that's it for me. I think cartoony type shapes and really reflecting on the Saturday morning cartoons that I used to watch is really my inspiration there.
Cool. I think someone said they made it.
Yeah, I was about to say,
true?
do we have a winner? Someone said their Contra Caustics is in the box.
Is he?
Live.
Where's Contra?
Oh shit, I think I'm doing it. Oh fuck. Almost
Which
made
box is
it.
he? Oh, he's in that box. Contra, you gotta get all the way to the final. You gotta get to the final
You're not
Go
done
around.
yet, Contra.
You made it halfway, bud.
Halfway. Oh my gosh.
Make sure you
It'll be
don't.
all right.
Yeah,
By the way,
like,
I see someone on the S out front though.
Keep
does it
going
get
past the
more
box.
difficult? Oh my God,
No,
there's
it
so
gets
much.
easier from there, in my opinion.
Man, this is hard. This is very hard.
Yeah, it is challenging.
I think I
it's
saw
it's
Jazz Wolf on the S though out front.
oh,
So
is
it looks like
Jasper pretty
someone.
close?
Yeah, it looks like someone's making some good progress.
Well, I know for a fact there's a bunch of people that have a lot of practice with this because it's the same
Yeah.
map that we've used for a while. It's just a little different now. So I wouldn't be surprised if is out there, and I'd be very happy because she was trying for a very long time to master this course. She actually, her, Mike Rock and Contra were the three winners for the treasure hunt that we did. Um, and they probably spent the entire week in here. Every time I would come into the hub, they would be in here running around looking for clues, which was amazing to look at. So I think they're
Oh no!
probably, if anyone has experience, it's them. Oh,
I
you
made it
jumped from
past.
the roof to there. So if you made it to the roof, that you actually did get past.
Yeah, but then I have to start all over now. Oh, man.
I
So,
love it.
like, outside of Fun Guys, which NFT project are you excited about the most that is building in the sandbox?
Building in the sandbox, I think there's quite a few projects that I'm looking at. I think Monochrome is one of my favorite projects right now. And you've mentioned Sandhelm before. I'm really excited with what the team at Sandhelm is putting together. I think they're D&D inspired. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the actual three letters, but their D&D inspired game is something that I think the sandbox is really going to look forward to. Their characters look amazing. They have a solid team, big friends with a lot of the people that are working there, and kind of some of the people that we started all commingling on Discord together, and it's just we built a community out of that, and that's kind of where the whole boot group thing spawned from. And then the so their team, Cody Zine's team, and the Monochrome team. I can't wait to see those games. Voxel Blaze and his game and the Blaze Games team. I think that the games that they put out are stellar. You know, they always have a production value to them that's top notch. Man, but there's so much. I think that the as kind of we evolve in this space, like we're gonna see builders that come out of nowhere that are gonna be the projects that kind of take everyone's attention. And in my opinion, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is seeing the kids that are building right now in Roblox and Minecraft and all that stuff, getting them to start building in here and getting them to spend, if you give a kid these tools and you give a kid the ability to make a game and they learn it, they have nothing but creativity and time on their hands, So it's like the things that they can create are I think we're gonna be learning from these kids in a year from now.
Yeah.
I think a year from now we're gonna be looking at a 12-year-old who's the most popular builder in the sandbox, and that person has not even been introduced to the sandbox yet. So
Yeah, I think Sandbox is going to change a lot of teenagers' lives. Like, I think it's going to turn like some 12, 13-year-old to a superstar, and then other people will start to follow, and because that person will become the role model. So
Yeah.
I think
All
we
you
just
need
need
is
that
one of
one
them.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just one kid that's either the Twitch streamer or a news article picks him up, or someone does a story on him that's like, hey, this kid just made $1 million building a game. Like the moment that happens, it's like parents are no longer saying don't waste your time on video games, and that change really happened because of the Twitch streaming and all that stuff that kids were able to start making a decent living on, just promoting the games and playing games live. If you tell me that a kid has a firsthand in making passive revenue and he doesn't even have to be streaming, he just builds a game, puts it out there. Parents are no longer going to ignore that. I think that's something that's a thing of the past. We have some.
Yeah.
Is that Contra? Someone's coming down the tubes.
I heard Gary Vee. I heard Gary
What's
Vee
that?
say this about social media apps, and I think it applies to the Sandbox as well. He
My
said that
dog.
social media
Sorry.
apps usually, no problem. Yeah. So he said that social media apps usually blow up after they create one global superstar. Like he said, the Snapchat created DJ Khaled, TikTok created Charlie D'Amelio, Twitter created Ashton Kutcher, and then all these apps just like blew up. And I think Sandbox will do the same thing, but it's going to be for the builder.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the moment that you have a builder that actually makes it to the limelight, it's gonna blow up the way that people start looking at the sandbox and what's going on around here. There's there's so much that you can do with a sandbox that we just discovered FPSs this week, and then next week what's going to happen, and then the week after that what's going to happen. Like the moment that Sandbox keeps putting out mechanics, but they don't even know what people are going to do with those mechanics. So in reality, it's about the builders. It's about those people that come in here and try to break the games and try to build something unique that are going to be able to even get promoted by the sandboxing and make those like leaps forward with the game maker and the software that we're all using, that really makes just one of those people that makes something incredible that someone like Activision pays attention to, or whatever. They make a game and they launch the next game that they're making on the sandbox or something like that. Like there's so many ways for something that a lot of people don't really think about is the sandbox is already installed on 20 million phones or something like that. I don't even know how many users the sandbox used to have, but they used to be a mobile platform before they even did anything with the NFT space. So they had millions of users using their software already that's very familiar and very aware of the brand. And they haven't told those users, or maybe they haven't told those users, but all they have to do is push an update to those people. And how many people know about the sandbox virtual 3D metaverse now,
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, I don't know. It's all about the right person at the right time. Those two things come together, and then it just goes from there. But it's inevitable. I think it's bound to happen eventually. I do see Contra is back over here, and he did officially just finish the challenge. So I think congratulations, Contra.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
Another good thing about the sandbox is there's so many people, so many IPs entering the space, is that I feel like eventually these network effects, they're just going to go crazy, and just more and more people will start to hear about it.
Yeah, it's about those connections. I think The Walking Dead really brought a lot of people into the sandbox. I think that was the first time that I really started seeing a lot of people posting that, I pay attention to the sandbox Discord quite a bit, and that was the week that I saw the most. Hi, I'm new to the sandbox. Hi, I'm new to the sandbox. And it's like you realize that if the right IP comes into the sandbox, it's going to bring just a million people like that, and that's a snowball effect. The more that happens, the bigger that becomes. There's just so much going on that you can't really. It's I would have been, even when we set up this meeting. We set this up a few weeks ago, and if you told me at that time that sand was going to be at $4 when we were meeting, I would have laughed at you. And then we're sitting here right now and going like, yeah, I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. And it's like those changes, that thing is really a testament to how this whole space works. It's like you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's just about being here, being around, doing the work, and kind of getting your own niche, carved in the metaverse, that you just be around for it, and we're all succeeding at the same time here. Like that's the beauty of this to me.
Like anything can happen in the space. Anything.
Yeah, like they're saying in the chat, like Snoop Dogg. I mean, Snoop Dogg is in the sandbox now. Like that blows my mind every time I sit down and think about it.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I feel like that's all the questions that I have for today. Slater, do you have any questions, or the chat?
No,
would you like to
I
add
mean,
anything?
that was awesome. I mean, I appreciate you coming out and explaining everything. I think a lot of people are going to see a lot of cool things coming out of this project once all the pieces kind of fall in line.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. No, I'm really happy that we took the time. I really did. There's a lot going on, and as I kind of built the ecosystem and the fun guys and everything, I came up with more and more ideas. And as I came up with more and more ideas, I kind of wanted to put it all together. So I put out the video on YouTube this month that kind of puts that all together. You put up a little slide earlier. And then, so if anyone wants more information about how the ecosystem kind of works, they can check that out. But I did want to also announce a special little thing. I will be starting to stream my builds and the actual creation of the fungi babies. So when we get breeds and all that, I will be streaming the creation process, and the owners will kind of have a say in how that works. And so I plan on starting on streaming January 3rd, and that'll all be on my Twitch channel. And I used to stream about 3-4 years ago. I had a show called Tiny House Studio Live, where I would do 1 hour live paintings and stuff. So you might see YouTube videos of that somewhere, but I'm going to revive my Twitch channel and start streaming Game Maker builds and actual illustrations and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. My cat has a say in the matter as well.
But dude, that sounds awesome, and I would love to have you back as we start getting your stream. The Sandbox art's opening up more, and we kind of see what you're doing. I would love to have you back again.
Yeah, I would love to, man, and I love what you guys are building here. I think the SandStrom meetup, and it's just a testament to how these communities can kind of come together and really coexist and build better things together. I think that's one thing that we have to keep in mind as we kind of continue in the space. It's about creating the connections and not creating this tension, right? I think that it's very easy with the game jams, with competitions, we're all in it to make some money, but I think it's really important to keep at the forefront of your mind, like pushing together boundaries together is really how we're going to make the space grow. And then that's how we all win, Yes, one of us could get ahead and then everything could, they could do all that, but really bringing the people that you've brought that have helped you, and everyone dragging everyone up the ladders is really how we all kind of achieve things here. So I think that's the big thing for me is I will be sharing absolutely everything I can create, and everything that anyone wants to know, I will be sharing all that knowledge. I think that's something that I want to do, that because I want to learn from people as well. I encourage other people to do the same thing. So, and that's really, I think, how we kind of build this space truly for what it's going to be. So it's, yeah, be a community in the realest sense. I think that's the real way. So, but yeah, I just, I really appreciate you guys. I think that you guys are doing a really amazing job with building it, bringing everyone together and everything. So, I'm happy to be on whenever,
Awesome. That's so great.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like in the NFT space, if one person wins, everyone wins, and it's beautiful. So yeah, we gotta stick
100%.
together.
100%.
Thank you for everyone that joined. I'll be ending the stream over here, and I'll be back on Monday with some Sandbox gameplay.
So if you guys want to play the game, it's live right now. The Walking Dead, the Walking Funguis is live in the Game Maker Gallery right now. I think it's on page 40 something. Have fun and send those screenshots in.
Yes.
Yep.
And Tuschay, I will expect a how-to video on how to make that soon.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool. Well, GM everyone.
Right.
GM.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace.